ahead tonight.
Find out how Cat Island residents are joining forces to give those teen girls who lost their lives in a fatal car crash a proper burial.
Plus, the health minister is weighing in on the significant impact of this weekend's major power blackout.
I believe that the time has come for us to even modernize our current infrastructure and our generation capacity at the Princess Margaret Hospital.
And then, as residents prepare for the hurricane season, they're also anticipating potential ongoing blackouts. Businesses in the capital reporting a jump in generator sales. And then in our news at 7:30, the Attorney General is breaking down the law when it comes to vehicular manslaughter. We have the details for these stories and more as our News Live at 7 starts now. Welcome to our News Live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. On Cat Island, grief was met with an outpouring of support for the families of two teen girls whose lives were cut short. As the community prepares to bury two of the 5 young people killed in last weekend's Shirley Street crash, dozens of residents came together to help prepare their final resting place. Our Delvado Emmanuel spoke with one resident who shares how the island is pulling together to mourn their lives.
This video captures the father of 18-year-old Stania Webb, along with family members, friends, and community volunteers, working together to prepare the burial site for Stania and her friend, 17-year-old Diamond Stubbs. At the gravesite in Smiths Bay, dozens of residents could be seen working side by side, taking turns with shovels, mixing cement, and clearing the grounds where the two teenagers will be laid to rest. The heart-wrenching video provided by Cat Island resident Yontele Bo Kirkendall. I spoke with Bo Kirkendall over the phone. She says while the loss has been devastating for the entire island, the outpouring of love and support has been just as powerful.
You could feel it in the air. You could feel it through the community. When you stop into the stores or the food stores or anything, everybody's still talking about it. And like when they saw the preparation of the grave site being prepared, they were like, Yontele, it just affected us even more, by seeing it became so real.
The Cat Island resident says support has taken many forms, adding residents have been stopping by the gravesite with food, drinks, and supplies to keep the volunteers fed and hydrated. She says even as the island prepares for the funerals, residents are also keeping the survivors of the crash and their families in their prayers.
Everybody's just coming along, and then they're still supporting the persons who need to have surgery and in the hospital, and just being togetherness and keeping everybody in prayer. So that's what we're doing on the ground in Cat Island.
Now, a memorial service will be held for 3 of those victims next Thursday at the William Thompson Community Center. Reporting for our news, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
All right, thanks so much, Delvado. Well, after a weekend of widespread power outages that left thousands of homes, businesses, and even the Princess Margaret Hospital without power for hours, Energy, Utilities, and Aviation Minister JoBeth Colby Davis is speaking out. Colby Davis issuing a statement this morning saying she understands the frustrations of residents. The Energy Minister also insists that restoring and improving the country's electricity supply remains the government's top priority, following the widespread power outages that affected New Providence over the weekend. Bahamas Power and Light attributed the weekend blackouts to severe weather and intense lightning. They say triggered a major fault at the Blue Hills Power Station. Colby Davis says she's told BPL that during major outages, the public deserves faster, clearer, and more frequent updates. She also says the government is continuing work to strengthen the country's power grid and improve the reliability of the electricity system, with a more detailed update expected Thursday. Well, following the weekend's widespread power outages that left thousands of homes, businesses, and essential services without electricity for hours, including the Princess Margaret Hospital, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville is weighing in. He says the hardest hit area was one of PMH's older medical wards, where the loss of power had a more significant impact than in the hospital's newer sections.
The Princess Margaret Hospital have a variety of backup generators. 2 of the generators are more modern, with the power switches modern. But there was a situation we had on the medical ward, which is an older piece of infrastructure, and that was impacted more severely. I'm pleased to report that today a lot of work is going on to resolve that issue. and to ensure that we have a better flow of generation power in the event that we do have another outage.
The minister says crews moved quickly to restore power, working alongside Bahamas Power and Light to ensure patient care continued with minimal disruption. Looking ahead, Darville says the government is also examining longer-term upgrades to the hospital's power system.
I believe that the time has come for us to even modernize our current infrastructure and our generation capacity at the Princess Margaret Hospital. There's a generator that we're looking at that is a bit aged. It's not at end life yet, but we need to think about replacing that asset. But I want to commend the Minister of Energy because she works very closely in collaboration with the Princess Margaret Hospital and by extension our facilities in the Family Islands. One of the key assets that must remain on is power. And when the power went off, some of the areas that came on initially was our hospital, and for that we're very grateful.
And with widespread blackouts affecting parts of New Providence, many Bahamians are investing in backup power ahead of the peak hurricane season. As demand rises, some suppliers say units are selling before they even arrive in the country. Our Evelyn Ferguson reports.
Widespread power outages across New Providence sparking a sharp increase in demand for backup power. Business Development Manager at Total Services, Barry Nairn, says generator sales are up by at least 25% across the industry, adding that residents aren't just responding to recent blackouts. They're preparing for what could be an active hurricane season.
The calls are there. It's right now, it's kind of demanding for us to go ahead and keep up. We do a lot of quoting, and we actually started selling units that we come there. We have it in transit. So before the units are down there, so that's how, that's how much of demand it is.
Nairn says many are even turning to commercial banks to finance their purchase, a sign of just how urgent self-reliance has become in the face of outages and storms.
We do have quotes. They do request quotes so they can go to the commercial banks to get like a loan to go ahead and facilitate the purchase.
Nairn warns that waiting only makes it costlier and that planning ahead is key, especially as the hurricane season drives the spike. Even when fuel prices increased recently, he says the demand for generators remains strong, highlighting just how important reliable backup power has become for many Bahamians.
Once you come there and you have a plan inside there, normally if you wait last second, it's going to cost you, a bit more. If you come there and you're able to plan, you're able to budget for what you need.
As the hurricane season continues and power outages remain a concern, suppliers expect demand for generators to stay high. Their advice is simple: plan ahead, purchase early, and don't wait until the next blackout or approaching storm to secure backup power. Reporting for Our News, I'm Evelyn Ferguson.
Thanks so much, Evelyn. Well, in news from the court, a man has been acquitted of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl in 2024 after his alleged victim never showed up to testify. Justice Janine Weish Gomez directed the 9-member jury to acquit 20-year-old Shavini Taylor of unlawful sexual intercourse after prosecutors closed their case against him without calling the alleged victim. Taylor was accused of having unlawful sexual relations with the minor on March 10, 2024. In other news today, family, friends, and faculty packed Bahamas Faith Ministries to celebrate the achievements of hundreds of graduates during the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute's commencement ceremony. As they received their certificates and diplomas, graduates were reminded that their education has prepared them to enter the workforce, pursue further studies, and help build the nation. Among those addressing the class was U.S. Ambassador Herschel Walker, who encouraged graduates to continue working hard, embrace the lessons that come with failure, and remain focused on their future success.
When you put in effort, you will have a greater appreciation for what you can accomplish. And never be ashamed of failure. Failure is part of life. Besides, we learn much more from failure than we do from success. I've had an opportunity to know a lot of boxers. They won many championships, many belts, world titles. And whenever we talk, they always talk about the losses. But I don't want you to dwell on failure. I want you to dwell on success.
Also bringing remarks on behalf of the Minister of Education was Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Keenan Johnson. He reaffirmed the government's commitment to expanding technical and vocational education, including plans for a new BTVI campus in New Providence and greater success to training opportunities throughout the Family Islands. He says he believes that one of the most important things we can do as a nation is change the way we think about education.
Today's economy demands something different. The modern Bahamas needs skilled people, people who know how to solve problems, people who know how to build, repair, innovate, and create. And that is why it is so important to have institutions like BTVI. You are entering a world where practical knowledge is becoming more valuable every single day. Technology will continue to reshape the workplace. Artificial intelligence is transforming industries. Entire professions continue to evolve, but there will always be a need for skilled professionals who combine technical expertise with critical thinking, creativity, and integrity. Those qualities cannot be replaced.
Congratulations to the graduating class. We've still got more to come, but for now, meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg, happy Tuesday. How's it looking?
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and happy Tuesday evening, everybody. A very, very warm day around the islands. Temperatures getting into the low to mid-90s. Feels like temperatures in the triple digits. I saw some locations as high as 109 with the feels like temperature. Right now, it's 87 degrees on the outside with a passing cloud or two, and it is very warm. East-southeast winds at 10 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 96. Temperatures right now around the Family of Islands, we are warm, very warm this evening in the mid to upper 80s, 87 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Alistown, Bimini, Great Harbor Key, the Berry Islands, here in the capital, and over in Governor's Harbour, Luthra. Marshall, Babaco, 86 there. Nicholstown, North Andros, 88. We pick up those mid to upper 80s once again in Central Bahamas with 88 in Kemps Bay, South Andros, more 87s popping up in Black Point, Exuma, Keys, Arthurstown, Kid Island. String of 86s in Georgetown, Exuma, and Deadman's Key. 85s, Port Nelson, Rum Key, and in Coburn Townsend, Salvador, and into the southeast Bahamas. 85, Duncantown, Ragged Island, Delectable Bay, Acklands, Colonel Hill, Crooked Island. 86, 83 in Abrahams Bay. Cool temperatures there. 88 in Providencia, Texas, and Caicos Islands, and Matthewtown, Inagua. Your temperature right now is at 84. Reason why we've been having these warm temperatures, very little cloud mass around, dry air mass, Saharan dust, as well as that high pressure system in charge, and the high pressure system provides us with some sinking air, so that heats up the atmosphere. A couple of isolated showers up near the Grand Bahama area, as well as the Abacos. Most of the activity will be pulling away from us. Upper level low still spinning down near the southeast Bahamas, but most of the thunderstorm and weather activity associated with that is across Hispaniola and Puerto Rico. High pressure is going to remain with us for the next several days. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. We'll take a second look at our weather when we come back.
Coming up in sports, back to the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Wasn't pretty, but we split window 3 and we move on to round 2. Puerto Rico is stressful, just as a country.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record, we challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other.
Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8 p.m.
The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
Every year, Car theft in the Bahamas rises. Thieves are getting smarter and faster. Is your car a target? Compact vehicles are at risk. Don't become a victim. Simple steps can make all the difference. Lock your car. Invest in anti-theft devices. Park smart. Protect yourself. Stay alert. I am PC 4392 Trayshawn Ferguson. Stay vigilant. Report suspicious activity. And let's create safer communities together. Learn more by visiting theroyalbahamaspoliceforce.org.
And I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone. Like a WhatsApp message.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Okay, so let's get the bad news out of the way first. Puerto Rico was just better. They shot the lights out. We were shorthanded. Not a great time. Now, on to the good news. We're still moving on. 15 made threes, over 62% from deep, led Puerto Rico to a 115-92 win over Team Bahamas. The Bahamas is still going to the second round, so the World Cup dream is still very much alive. The bad vibe started early. Buddy got injured just 7 minutes in. VJ scored 19 but got teed up and ejected in the third. No Eric Gordon for either game, and Kai Jones only scored 5. As the World Cup and Olympic chase continues, the NBA names will always grab the headlines, but Team Bahamas may have found another emerging leader in a place they didn't expect. Franco Miller Jr. has been getting buckets all qualifying campaign, averaging 19.4 points per game. Back in February, he dropped 32 on Jamaica, had 19 and 7 in the first matchup against Puerto Rico, and last night a team-high 22 points when the Bahamas needed somebody to keep the offense afloat. A quick pivot to racket sports, no, not Wimbledon. Pickleball. The John McEnroe Tennis Center at Baha Mar just hosted its first SummerSlam mixed doubles pickleball tournament, and it featured more than 30 players in the field. In the end, Brazil Hamilton and Erica Knowles walked away as the last team standing in the event, sponsored by Heineken and High Noon. They took home the championship title, cash prizes, gold medals, and a 2-night stay at the Grand Hyatt. That'll do it for sports. So much stories, so little time. Back on Our News at 7:30.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world. As the British military says 3 tankers were struck by projectiles in the Strait of Hormuz. Plus, the death toll from Venezuela's twin earthquakes rises to over 3,500 as thousands more remain displaced in the hardest hit cities. And Haiti launching a new initiative to boost youth innovation and entrepreneurship. We have the details when our news returns.
And I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going on.
Well, I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access to the news you don't want to miss out. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to press the notification bell on the WhatsApp broadcast channel so that you don't miss out on all of the real-time updates.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
Too many suffer in silence, but silence only protects the abuser. Your feelings are real. Your safety matters. It's time to break the silence. If someone is hurting you, speak up. We will listen. We will help. I am Police Constable 4286 Janae Douglas of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Let us.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. 3 tankers were struck by projectiles Tuesday in the Strait of Hormuz, the British military said. It's the latest attacks targeting vessels moving through the fuel shipping waterway that is central to negotiations seeking a permanent end to the war between the U.S. and Iran. The new assaults were the most in a single day since late April. The fresh attacks threatened to choke off the flow of traffic in the strait, just as countries hope to restore normal shipping practices and ease the global economic strain of the war. Tehran, which has repeatedly declared that only its approved route through the strait is safe, is suspected of attacking other ships that have used another route close to the Omani shore. The death toll from Venezuela's twin earthquakes has risen to 3,535. Top lawmaker Jorge Rodriguez said the latest official tally showed 16,740 people injured and 17,854 left without housing after the June 24 quakes, which measured magnitude 7.2 and 7.5 and struck within seconds of each other. Venezuela's social vice presidency said at least 12,800 people were staying in 80 shelters across the 2 hardest hit cities. Meantime, an advisor to the Emergency Operations Center of PAHO in Washington warned of the health risk mounting in these temporary sites. An island-wide blackout hit Cuba on Monday as the country's fuel reserves dwindle and its electric grid continues to crumble. Fuel has been running out across Cuba since January, when U.S. President Donald Trump threatened tariffs on any country that sells or provides oil to the island, deepening the island's ongoing economic and financial crisis. Public transportation has largely been halted, and officials have canceled tens of thousands of surgeries. Cuba produces only 40% of the fuel it needs, while the 730,000 barrels of oil delivered by a Russian tanker in late March ran out by the end of April. The government also has been rationing power with intentional outages that can stretch to more than 24 consecutive hours. Guyana is set to roll out a senior citizens allowance tomorrow, July 8th. The 20,000 Guyanese dollars allowance, which was introduced in the 2026 national budget, is intended to help senior citizens meet their transportation expenses. The Minister of Human Services and Social Security said the ministry has designed the process to ensure it is simple and convenient for pensioners across the country, confirming pensioners can receive the allowance in person or via direct deposit. The allowance is in addition to a universal old age pension of $46,000 monthly dollars. Well, Haiti's Ministry of Commerce and Industry has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Higher School of Infotronics of Haiti and the Avenir Foundation to officially launch IAD Lab, an initiative aimed at strengthening innovation and job creation among young people. The program seeks to promote entrepreneurial ideas that can generate employment and contribute to national economic growth. The Commerce Minister described the initiative as a collective commitment and a practical response to Haiti's ongoing challenges in innovation and entrepreneurship. Still to come in our news at 7:30. As we prepare to celebrate more than 5 decades of independence, young Bahamians are stepping to the forefront and leading the charge. We hear from one of them. That's coming up when our news continues.
Danielle here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more great content, be sure to hit that notification button and follow the team you already trust.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seatbelts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, industry leaders, cultural icons, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets the tone for the nation. We've tackled the biggest issues on the planet, held leaders accountable, and given voice to the people. From politics to culture, business to environment, no topic is off limits. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episode on our YouTube channel. 9 seasons strong, and we're just getting started. This is On the Record.
Joshua Williams here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button and to follow all of our social media pages. Also, don't forget to push that notification button so that you can see all of the great content from the team you already trust.
Conflict doesn't have to end in chaos. Before it escalates, take a breath. Step back. Choose peace.
Welcome back. As always, to watch any of today's top stories from the comfort of your home, be sure to head on over to ournews.bs. And you can also stay up to date while you're on the move, whether you're at the gym or waiting to catch a summer flight. The Our News podcast puts the latest headlines in your pocket. Just search for Our News Bahamas on your favorite podcast app to subscribe. That does it for our news at 7. Joining us now is our Italia Hall Thomas with the latest headlines. Italia.
All right, well, coming up, momentum picking up as we prepare to celebrate this Independence holiday. We'll tell you about Caribbean wine and spirits' newest Bahamian product. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our News Live at 7:30.
Please tell me, begging them, if thy daughter said, just tell me,
The mother of one of the Shirley Street crash victims is speaking out, recounting the painful hours before learning her child's fate. Also, what determines whether a deadly crash results in manslaughter charges. The Attorney General breaks down the law. Plus, a case involving the ex-business partner of a former cabinet minister has been delayed after a judge canceled the scheduled trial date. We have the latest from the courtroom, and later...
Here at CARICOM in St. Lucia, the foreign minister meets with several international diplomats to talk regional national security and humanitarian efforts. Stay tuned to Our News Tonight for more details.
The story when Our News at 7:30 returns.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button if you'd like to see more content like this. Follow all of the Our News social media pages so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must get back to work and class. Set them all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set them all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Setamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record, we challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other.
Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia All-Thomas. First tonight, the mother of one of the 5 victims killed in the June 28 Shirley Street crash is breaking her silence tonight. Speaking to our news from Canada, she recalls the desperate search for her daughter, the heartbreak of learning she was gone, and her plea for justice. Our Chinasa Ouden has more.
And I was informed or called by one of the cousins that she was at the party with that she was in the accident Sunday. It's early Sunday morning. And so, immediately we began calling around trying to get some information from the hospital.
That was the moment Diana Wright says her world changed forever. Wright is the mother of the late Evelina Johnson, better known to loved ones as Lily. Johnson was the last of 4 young women killed in the June 28th Shirley Street crash to be publicly identified. Her identity became known after a missing person flyer began circulating on social media. Speaking to Our News from Canada, Wright said after receiving a call from one of her daughter's cousins, she immediately sent her father and a family friend to the hospital in search of answers.
Can you please tell me, begging them, if thy daughter is there, just tell me, I get that there's privacy.
Wright says her daughter had begun living in the United States for the past 4 months, where she had recently secured a job and was applying to universities. She returned to the Bahamas to attend the funeral of a loved one before later going out with cousins. Wright went on to say she didn't know the other young women involved in the crash and still doesn't know why her daughter was in the vehicle. She says she's now been forced to piece together her daughter's final moments through social media.
A lot of this information, a lot of this whole scenario is weird to me, and I have absolutely zero information about a lot of stuff. A lot of the information that I have, I'm finding out on Facebook.
Wright also expressed her disappointment over videos of the driver that have been circulating online. While acknowledging that those involved are young, she says she has yet to see what she believes is genuine remorse, adding that her family is now focused on seeking justice for Lily.
In my head, I'm thinking you're clearly no longer in shock. By now you're aware that you've taken a few people's lives.
Fighting back tears, Wright described what her daughter was like.
She was very, very, very lovable, very humble, just, I don't know.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Chinasa Ouden.
All right, thanks so much for that, Chinasa. Well, Attorney General Wayne Monroe says Bahamians should not assume that vehicular manslaughter cases end without jail time, especially when multiple lives are lost. His comments come just one day after the arraignment of 19-year-old Marcus Thacker Jr., who is charged with 5 counts of vehicular manslaughter in connection with the last month's deadly Shirley Street car crash. While he did not speak to that specific case, Monroe did break down the law when it comes to vehicular manslaughter. The AG explained that unlike the former offense of killing by dangerous driving, vehicular manslaughter is now tried before a jury in the Supreme Court.
There have been awards of a year, 2 years. I know there was a case in Grand Bahama where 3 young ladies died and the person got 18 months. And so, yes, there's generally an award if you have multiple deaths.
Monroe also stressing that each case is decided on its own facts, but said that the courts have shown that jail time is a real possibility.
Well, anytime you have a traffic accident, there are traffic offenses that arise minimum. So any Bahamian knows if you get an offender bender, driving without due care and attention, sometimes reckless driving. In the past, you used to have killing in the course of dangerous driving tried in the magistrate's court. Expeditiously tried. Vehicular manslaughter is a matter that goes to the Supreme Court. The elements of the offense are basically the same, but now it's tried by a jury instead of a magistrate.
Well, the Bahamas Christian Council is stepping forward to support the families of those who lost their lives in that tragic Shirley Street crash. Council President Pastor Mario Moxie says lending assistance wasn't something they had to think twice about, nor was it a response prompted by a request from the families. Instead, the act was out of its commitment to serve the community during times of grief. Moxie says the church has always been a place of refuge, compassion, and support, and that the council's fundraising efforts are aimed at helping to cover the funeral expenses of the young victims while also easing the financial burden on survivors who continue to require critical surgeries and medical care.
We really wanted to express that compassion in a very practical way. We know that there are needs that the families have. There have been 5 death associated with that, which means there are 5 burials. And then there are other 2 victims of that crash who hospitalized and having to have major surgeries. And so we wanted to make sure that they understand that we stand with them.
But beyond the financial support, the tragedy has also sparked widespread discussion across social media. Addressing the driver who's facing charges, Pastor Mario Moxie is urging the public to remember that while justice must take its course, there's also room for grace and compassion.
Especially as this particular tragedy has gotten so much attention on social media, that we remember to be gracious, to be kind, not to villainize anyone, because everyone in this situation is hurting, including the driver. And so it's important for us to show compassion. He's young, and so sometimes things said are not really intended, but it just comes out the wrong way. And so it's important for us as a community to stand with everybody and to show love, to show compassion. I'm not familiar with all of the details of the law and how the charges are being pressed, but I will say that whatever is determined by police investigators, I think they're going to do their job and to carry out their responsibility. Notwithstanding, it's not that it cannot happen without compassion. And I don't think we need to divorce compassion and be unkind to an individual that has made probably some poor decisions.
While a Florida district judge has canceled the upcoming trial date for Malcolm Goodman. Goodman, who's the former business partner of former National Security Minister Marvin Dames, is accused of smuggling 200 kilos of cocaine valued at $4 million into Florida on February 11th on board the MV Real Experience. His trial was set to begin on July 13th before Judge Melissa Damien, after missing 2 deadlines to enter a plea deal for her. Judge Damien canceled the scheduled trial date and sent the case to Judge Jared Strauss for a change of plea hearing. While with leaders from across the region meeting in St. Lucia this week, the issue of unrest in Haiti is a topic of discussion for regional leaders. Among them is Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell. He is calling for the renewal of the gang suppression force in Haiti, along with what he calls a regional focus to help deal with the humanitarian crisis in Cuba. Joshua Williams has been in St. Lucia covering CARICOM's 51st Heads of Government meeting and has the details in this report.
There are a number of issues that affect Caribbean nations. Some think of food security, some think of the energy crisis, but perhaps none more important than national security.
For decades, Haiti has been a nation in turmoil, battling a struggling economy and seemingly endless violence. But in recent years, those troubles have intensified following the 2021 assassination of Haiti's president, Jovenel Moïse, at his private residence in the capital, Port-au-Prince. After the deadly incident, Haitian gangs have gained control and estimated 90% of the capital, following the collapse of state institutions. The unprecedented unrest has displaced approximately 1.5 million people and sparked mass killings, severe food insecurity, and human rights concerns. It's an issue CARICOM leaders have pledged to address, with countries including the Bahamas promising to contribute to a UN-backed anti-gang security mission in Haiti, and those efforts to help Haiti continue. Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell telling me he sat down with Haitian officials this week.
We're actually involved on the ground supporting the GFS, the Gang Suppression Force, that was recently authorized by the United Nations, and the mandate runs out shortly. We want it to be renewed.
But Haiti isn't CARICOM's only concern. There's also the issue of Cuba. U.S. sanctions that have laid siege to the island's ailing economy since January. The U.S. has called Cuba's government a national security threat and says sanctions are necessary to force a change in the island's government. But Cuba has long maintained it is not a threat to the United States. The United Nations has gone on record calling the U.S. fuel blockade illegal and a violation of the human rights of all Cubans.
The fact that the reports are of children and patients having lack of access to medicine, the energy situation is quite critical. Food is quite critical an issue, and so we are trying to use our voice to support on those issues.
Then there's the ongoing geopolitical feuds that have affected the region's economy, driving up the price of fuel and overall costs of living.
Our view is that humanitarian concerns trump everything else, and that means that we need to make sure that efforts are made to the maximum to ensure that there's food for everybody, there's energy supplied, that there is the ability of all countries in this region to participate in the world economy.
Reporting for our news from St. Lucia, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, very detailed report. Thanks so much for that, Joshua. Well, sunny to partly cloudy skies on this Tuesday in the capital. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and a happy Tuesday evening, everybody. It is very warm in the outside. Temperatures in the upper 80s, 87 degrees is our current temperature with a few passing clouds. Winds out of the east-southeast at 10 miles per hour. Feels like temperature, a very warm 96 degrees is what it feels like on the outdoors. Satellite radar composite, we have some isolated showers and thunderstorms up near the Grand Bahama area as well as the Abacos. Just some leftover residual clouds and showers associated with the boundary that was out there in the open Atlantic. Upper level low spinning near the southeast Bahamas. Not really doing much in terms of providing any significant weather. But the high pressure system and that Saharan dust is with us. And if you notice outside, we had some hazy skies. That's going to be with us for the next several days. So if you have some allergies, you may want to stay indoors for the next couple of days as well. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. We'll take a look at your tropics and your extended forecast when we come back.
Still to come on our news.
We're days away from independence, and tonight on our news, we're highlighting one of the country's youngest bright minds who's been appointed to the Senate.
And later, a new ready-to-drink beverage made in the Bahamas is hitting store shelves, celebrating local craftsmanship and national pride ahead of Independence Day. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record, we challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other.
Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8 p.m.
The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
Every year, car theft in the Bahamas rises. Thieves are getting smarter and faster. Is your car a target? Compact vehicles are at risk. Don't become a victim. Simple steps can make all the difference. Lock your car. Invest in anti-theft devices. Park smart. Protect yourself. Stay alert. I am PC 4392, Trayshawn Ferguson. Stay vigilant. Report suspicious activity. And let's create safer communities together. Learn more by visiting theroyalbahamaspoliceforce.org.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going on.
Well, I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcement, everything. Action.
He may only be 30 years old, but he sits in a chamber that carries decades of tradition and responsibility. As the country celebrates 53 years of independence, Our News is highlighting one of our young first-time leaders, his journey to public office, and the weight he carries at such a young age. Our Joshua Williams reports.
Our country may be celebrating more than 5 decades of independence, but young Bahamians are stepping to the forefront leading the charge, like first-time Senator Dr. Trevor Johnson. He's the first Bahamian to achieve a PhD in disaster management, and he's been a University of the Bahamas lecturer all before the age of 30. And now being appointed as an opposition senator to serve for the next 5 years, Johnson tells me he doesn't take it lightly.
I'm grateful for the leader of the opposition for allowing someone of my age the ability to serve, right, at such a young age, at 30 years old. As a young person, I look forward to supporting the growth and development of my country and ensure that this country remains the best country in the world.
And he's not the only young politician striving to make a difference.
The Senate is relatively young. It's not only myself, but also I have several government colleagues who also represent a new generation of politicians. And I think you see that new generation reflected in our contributions in the Senate and also the collegial environment by which we have in the Senate.
And as he reflects on 53 years of independence, Johnson says balancing wisdom with new ideas is important.
Independence is a time in which we remember those who contributed to the building of our nation. It's also a time for generations like ourselves to continue to hold and carry forward what they did. It's a reminder to continue to ensure that our economy remains strong so the Bahamians can carry out the Bahamian dream.
Dr. Johnson also tells me he's had several responsibilities added to his portfolio, something he's taking very seriously.
I've been appointed Shadow Minister for the Environment, so you can hear me talk a lot about issues facing our environment. Also the spokesperson for health, education, works and family island affairs, and Grand Bahama.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, congrats to my godbrother and fellow Grand Bahamian, Dr. Johnson. Well, as the country prepares to celebrate independence, there's a new Bahamian product hitting store shelves. Caribbean Wines and Spirits has officially launched Momentum, its first locally made ready-to-drink cocktail. The naturally crafted beverage is made and bottled right here in the Bahamas with a brand designed to celebrate national pride. Our Chanasa Ouden has the story.
Just in time for the nation's independence celebrations, Caribbean Wines and Spirits is introducing a product they say is truly Bahamian. Monument, the company's first ready-to-drink cocktail, is naturally made and both produced and bottled right here at home. Cara Douglas Adderley, Senior Marketing Director, says the timing of the launch was no accident, choosing to debut the product during a season when national pride is at its highest.
So the timing obviously is very obvious, right? We are really leveraging the Bahamian independence and really tying into our proudly produced locally as well as inspired locally with our flavors and our icons that are a part of the design of each can and celebrated on each can.
The company says Monument enters a growing ready-to-drink market with 3 bold flavors, but believe its local roots are what sets it apart from the competition. From its natural ingredients to its Bahamian production, Waylon McCarty, Strategic Relationships Manager, says every sip represents quality, authenticity, and support for local industry.
Bahamians are proud of talented, young, driven Bahamians who are at the forefront. And so I'm certain that, firstly, that does pique some interest and a great desire for Bahamians to consume. Bahamians love products that are locally produced.
But it's not just what's inside the can that tells the story. The branding was designed to celebrate the beauty and spirit of the Bahamas. Each of the 3 flavors features a different Bahamian monument or landmark, turning every can into a tribute to the country's rich heritage.
We wanted to create a brand that tells a Bahamian story. That's why we chose the name Monument.
Now, if you've liked what you heard so far and Monument Beverage is your drink for the summer, you can visit your local watering hole to pick up a can today. Reporting for Our News, I'm Chanasa Ouden.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Coming up in sports, the scoreboard didn't go our way, but the standings did. On to the next round of World Cup qualifiers. Franco Miller Jr. steps into a leadership role, and we'll look ahead to the challenge that awaits the Bahamas in Group F.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible, even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
Too many suffer in silence, but silence only protects the abuser. Your feelings are real. Your safety matters. It's time to break the silence. If someone is hurting you, speak up. We will listen. We will help. I am Police Constable 4286 Sinead Douglas of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Let us build safer communities together.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Danielle here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more great content, be sure to hit that notification button and follow the team you already trust.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Okay, so let's get the bad news out of the way first. Puerto Rico was just better. They shot the lights out. We were shorthanded. Not a great time. Now, on to the good news. We're still moving on. 15 made threes, over 62% from deep, led Puerto Rico to a 115-92 win over Team Bahamas. The Bahamas is still going to the second round, so the World Cup dream is still very much alive. The bad vibe started early. Buddy got injured just 7 minutes in. VJ scored 19 but got teed up and ejected in the third. No Eric Gordon for either game, and Kai Jones only scored 5. But let's talk about what really matters. We are headed to Group F. Next up, Uruguay on the road August 27th, Panama at home August 31st, and we're in South America for both games of the November window. Argentina on the 26th and Panama on the 28th. Finally, closing things out at home, hosting Uruguay February 26th and Argentina March 1st. Survive in advance, guys. Survive in advance.
Just want to tip of the hat to Puerto Rico. They came, they had a really tough loss to Canada on the road. They came here with their backs against the wall, and they played really well, and they came out with a victory. Proud of our guys fighting to the end. Had a couple of injuries, but still no excuses. Our guys still fought. We got a lot of film to watch to get better, and get ready for the next round in August.
As the World Cup and Olympic chase continues, the NBA names will always grab the headlines, but Team Bahamas may have found another emerging leader in a place they didn't expect. Franco Miller Jr. has been getting buckets all qualifying campaign, averaging 19.4 points per game. Back in February, he dropped 32 on Jamaica, had 19 and 7 in the first matchup against Puerto Rico, and last night, a team-high 22 points when the Bahamas needed somebody to keep the offense afloat. The spotlight also means he gets to do the fun things like answering the tough questions.
I feel like we're a team full of fighters. Us as Bahamians, we're dogs, I feel, and we just want to come out and try to compete and win and play against the best people in the world. So no matter if Buddy's out there, VJ's out there, Eric's out there, Kai's out there, whoever's out there, or whoever ain't there, we just gonna come out and play hard and try to win the game.
A quick pivot to racket sports. No, not Wimbledon. Pickleball. The John McEnroe Tennis Center at Baha Mar just hosted its first SummerSlam mixed doubles pickleball tournament, and it featured more than 30 players in the field. In the end, Brazil Hamilton and Erica Knowles walked away as the last team standing in the event, sponsored by Heineken and High Noon. They took home the championship title, cash prizes, gold medals, and a 2-night stay at the Grand Hyatt. Not a bad day's work for just a few hours on the court. Director of Rackets Deron Donaldson said the venue will continue to do its part to facilitate events for both guests and locals. That'll do it for Our Sports. This is 10YS, and that was a Murphy's Law game. Anything that could go wrong went wrong. I just don't know why we care more about people in the stands than we care about offensive rebounds. Maybe they should have fought to box out Romero or close out on a shooter.
Hot temperatures in the capital on this Tuesday. Greg is back with your extended weather when our news returns. Stay with us.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having Business in a Box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button if you'd like to see more content like this. Follow all of the Our News social media pages so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
People today that have a heart attack and need to have a vessel open can essentially leave the hospital sometimes in 24 hours and sometimes even on the same day. This is unheard of.
We can actually treat our patients right here locally in the Bahamas where they don't need to travel abroad for care.
In terms of cardiac cath cases, from 1996 to now, we've done well over 3,000.
This is why we're here at Doctors Hospital. State-of-the-art care for these common conditions that we deal with on an everyday basis.
A person should see a specialist for heart palpitations or dizziness, breathlessness, if they're fainting, or they've had a loss in their family related to heart disease.
Advanced cardiovascular care right here at Doctors Hospital.
At Doctors Hospital, we take care of you and all matters of the heart.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my...
This is our news. Welcome back. If you were working on the outdoors, you noticed the heat, and if you have allergies, you notice the Saharan dust that's with us. High pressure in charge, and that high pressure is continuing to suppress much in terms of any clouds as well as any rainfall activity. We have a couple of showers up near the northern islands, generating some isolated thunderstorms up there as well. Most of the activity popping up across Florida right now. That upper level low that's spinning near the southeast Bahamas, not doing much in terms of any weather. Most of the activity is just to the south across Hispaniola, Puerto Rico. That will continue to be the trend as that upper level low continues to pull towards the west. The tropics quiet. We have a couple of tropical waves moving across the tropical belt, but nothing showing any organization at this time, and it looks as though we can remain quiet for the next 7 days. Boating forecast, northwest Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. Your winds will be southeasterly at 10 to 15 knots. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over open waters. Tide is presently low at 8:11 tonight and will be high at 2:08 in the morning. Central Bahamas, caution flag in place for you guys down there. East to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, seas running 4 to 6 feet over open waters. And into the southeast Bahamas, we have an advisory posted for you down there. Easterly winds 15 to 25 knots, 4 to 6 foot seas near shore, but they will be building up to 8 feet offshore. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, the name of the game will be the heat. It's going to be with us for the next several days. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 90s across the board. Saharan dust is going to remain with us for the next couple of days. So make sure you take care of yourself if you have any of those respiratory ailments or some allergies. And look at this. We're going to pop up 95 on Sunday. So it's getting very warm and summer's here. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
So much for that, Greg, and thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall Thomas. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.